in the vast reaches of space, an enigmatic sphere emerges in Mars' orbit, sparking intense curiosity. The Achilles spacecraft sets out on a mission to uncover its secrets, only to stumble upon a chilling truth: the Earth government's audacious plan to combat overpopulation by casting 15 billion lives into a black hole. Haunted by her mother's tale of moral dilemmas at sea, Carla Gray finds herself entangled in an inexplicable connection. Tragedy strikes when a devastating car accident claims the lives of her mother and daughter. Seeking solace, Carla joins the Achilles, embarking on an extraordinary journey into the unknown. Emerging from deep slumber, Carla advises fellow traveler Say Rubin to extend his rest, knowing the exhaustion that accompanies cosmic awakening. To her surprise, Sai is a renowned blogger with a vast following, attracting both admiration and scorn from male crew members. Undeterred, Sai embraces the spotlight, reveling in the expedition's unprecedented attention. Finally, the crew confronts the elusive object of their research, an alluring black sphere nestled near Mars. Led by Carla's curiosity, they delve into the investigation, yet the data remains elusive. Even the ship's advanced scanners fail to penetrate the sphere's secrets. The journey into the unknown has just begun, leaving their burning questions tantalizingly unanswered. Within the midst of Sai's vivid descriptions and Officer Ulf's meticulous engine repair, an icy presence engulfs the Achilles. Director Vance's voice crackles through the intercom, reminding the crew of the world's unwavering fixation on the enigmatic sphere. An unsettling unease settles, driving them to seek solace in their cabins. Yet, Carla's steps down the shadowy corridor are shadowed by a haunting whisper, a spectral echo of her mother's voice. In a startling twist, her mother engages in a clandestine dialogue with Director Vance, expressing concern for Carla's fragile state following the tragic loss of her family. Their cryptic conversation hangs in the air before a sudden disconnection shatters the moment. As tension coils like a serpent, the ship's AI intrudes with a dire revelation: a transient spatial anomaly, a sinister offspring of the enigmatic sphere, rendering all communication futile. Isolation creeps upon the crew, their ties to the outside world severed, while the life support and engines hum with precarious vitality, a fragile lifeline amidst encroaching darkness. Driven by desperation, the Achilles steels its resolve, steering resolutely towards the beckoning sphere, guided by an ethereal burst of blinding luminescence, as if fate itself weaves their path. Amidst restored data processing systems, a chilling message reverberates within Carla's consciousness, an endless chant of a solitary word: Deus, the embodiment of God. Dread tightens its grip on their hearts as Sai, consumed by terror, implores retreat, his voice quivering with unearthly trepidation. Yet, defying caution, the captain stands unwavering, bound to enigmatic orders that command immediate exploration of the sphere's abyssal depths. In the gathering storm of uncertainty, Carla stumbles upon C, tears tracing paths down his desolate face, for he believes the sphere's trajectory is a penance, a torment imposed upon them. His ears ring with ethereal voices, an ominous chorus heralding imminent peril. Within the recesses of their minds, the crew ponders their loved ones, their thoughts entwined with the fervent believers whose destinies intertwine with the enigma that awaits them. In the face of not knowing what's going on, these brave adventurers aren't afraid and are curious about the sudden appearance of God. They believe that God is the one who judges everyone. Eventually, they all agree that they need to find out the truth about the strange sphere. If it turns out not to be God, they think about destroying it. But even though the Achilles isn't a military ship, the captain strictly says no talking about explosions. As they're getting ready to land, Carla hears her daughter crying loudly, and Sai is in pain and goes downstairs. Tez notices that Sai is gone and starts looking for him, with Ulf and Carla following closely. The couple goes down, but then splits up and goes in different directions. Meanwhile, Tez finds her way to the lower deck and sees something very strange. Sai is standing inside a pentagram made of burning light bulbs, and he's carving mysterious symbols on his body. Carla hears a woman screaming and rushes to help Tez, but instead, she finds Tez's body covered in blood, with Sai standing over her, holding a knife. Even though Carla is shocked, she tries to calm down, but it doesn't last long. Ulf hears the screams and rushes to the scene, where he sees C holding Carla tightly and holding the knife against her throat. Ulf tries to calm Sai down and tells him they can solve things peacefully, but Sai keeps talking about sins and demands that the ship changes its direction. Then, suddenly, there's a loud gunshot. Only the captain notices because he sneaked up behind Sai. The mission has just begun, but 2 crew members have tragically lost their lives. Carly suspects that the captain knows something important about the mysterious sphere, but he strongly denies it. He believes Carly, as an astronaut, is capable of handling the unknown. The fate of billions of people relies on solving this confusing puzzle, and Carly can't understand why the captain isn't more determined to uncover the scientist's fate. She insists on reaching the sphere as quickly as possible. Before long, Carly notices a strange structure on the surface. Director Vince contacts them with shocking news. Thousands of gateways leading to God have suddenly appeared all over Earth. It's an unusual and mysterious invasion. The origin and purpose of these gateways remain unknown. It becomes clear that the sphere holds the answers they need, making their mission even more critical. Carly, Ulf, and Scene carefully prepare their spacesuits before heading to the surface. The ground beneath them is unlike anything they've seen before. Suddenly, they see a bright light similar to the gates, along with dark rocks in the distance. They approach cautiously and use a searchlight rocket to light up the area. They see a tall obelisk with a symbol representing the event horizon, the boundary that defines existence itself. Carly becomes convinced that the gates in the sphere are made of the same material, but they still wonder where these gateways lead. In a moment that defies the laws of space, they start hearing sounds. Then, a mysterious woman appears before them, claiming to speak on behalf of the Creator, the ultimate source and end of all existence. She has come to offer both a warning and her help. Those who go through the gates will find eternal peace, and Carla's mission is to uncover the truth about what lies beyond them, a place where suffering is relieved. However, those who choose not to enter the gates will face their demise. The sphere, when it arrives on Earth, will become a massively destructive weapon, capable of instantly destroying the entire planet. On the other hand, those who pass through the gates will rediscover what they have lost. In a surprising turn of events, Carla sees her mother instead of the person she expected to see. She then envisions herself right after the accident. In front of her, there is a stunning golden field with a magnificent city on the horizon and her happy daughter running towards her. Filled with excitement, Carla rushes towards her daughter. But suddenly she finds herself back on the laboratory table, shaking uncontrollably and struggling to regain consciousness. The captain and Ulf are by her side, informing her about the tragic death of the third officer. Carla had entered the gates but lost consciousness, and they barely managed to bring her back. Just at that moment, Vance gets in touch with Carla. The whole world eagerly awaits her answer. She describes the extraordinary sight of the Golden Plain and the city that resembles the New Jerusalem, sharing the incredible vision she witnessed beyond the gates. Meanwhile, the captain tries to secretly listen to their conversation, but he fails. Carla confides in Ulf that she saw her family, who had been in a coma and receiving long-term treatment, suddenly appear before her. She is certain that both the captain and Vance are aware of this. It seems they wanted her to admit it on camera. The AI announces that the Achilles will depart from the sphere's orbit in 30 minutes. As the captain attempts to uncover the truth from Ulf regarding Carla's revelation, Ulf denies having any knowledge, but the captain insists and reminds him of his mission. In the meantime, Carla goes to the hibernation pods to examine Scene's remains but finds that the doors are locked. She forcefully enters the captain's quarters, where she discovers weapons and documents. Afterwards, she encounters Ulf in the corridor, determined to uncover the true purpose of the expedition. Ulf, a highly decorated member of an elite marine unit, raises questions about why he is on the ship. With a claim to keep the peace, the man admits his ignorance about the enigmatic sphere, whereas Carla, having traversed the gates herself, possesses first-hand knowledge. Determined to uncover the truth, Carla leads him to the captain, who likely holds the answers she seeks. Haunted by the memory of Scene's tragic demise and the sight of his mangled spacesuit, Carla's resolve to reveal the truth is met with the captain's insistence. Just as tension mounts, Vance's hologram materializes, asserting that Carla has caught a glimpse of paradise. Skepticism engulfs Carla as she suspects Vance's hired gun is lurking in the shadows, ready to strike. Perplexed, Vance fails to comprehend why Carla would be a specific target. As if mirroring the unfolding mysteries, people around the world have started making their own choices, flocking towards earthly gateways similar to the ones Carla encountered. As the man tends to her wound, Carla's determination to return to the sphere intensifies, even though the AI is under Vance's control. Ulf reminds her that entering the code can shut down the main engine, allowing them to still return to Earth orbit, albeit after a prolonged duration. Summoning Vance, Carla expresses her longing, but he discourages her, suggesting that she can assume the role of a creator, bestowing upon her the world he once sought to offer to a higher power. The sphere itself is composed of a remarkable, self-generating material, capable of constructing structures based on a predetermined blueprint, exemplified by the creation of Achilles. As Ulf sets out to reach the engine, Vance begins to narrate the story of a stunning planet nestled at the core of the Milky Way. However, the arrival of humanity brought about its demise, with a staggering 21 billion individuals squeezed onto a mere 15% of habitable land. If left unchecked, Both the human race and the planet itself face imminent destruction. Carla comprehends that those who pass through the gates on Earth, believing they are meeting God, are unwittingly hurtling towards a dark and treacherous fate, a black hole. Consequently, Vance is prepared to sacrifice 15 billion lives to save 6 billion, offering them a painless demise. Carla's recollection of the woman's warning at the gate echoes in her mind. The sphere will bring about Earth's destruction. However, Vance refutes this claim, asserting that the sphere will self-destruct upon reaching the planet, albeit at the cost of countless lives already lost. But Carla cannot shake the memories of her beloved ones she encountered within the sphere, can she? Vance, too, possesses a staggering response to Carla's revelation. In the wake of the accident, they implanted a chip within her mind, endowing them with the ability to perceive and hear anything at their whim. Carla's fury ignites as she realizes the extent of their atrocities, the loss of her family's lives, and the 2 years they dedicated to grooming her for this treacherous voyage. Fueled by her righteous anger, she recounts her mother's tale to Vance. But this time, the narrative takes a different turn. The people aboard that fateful boat could have embarked on fishing expeditions, discovered enigmatic islands, or encountered other vessels on their path. The vast expanse of the ocean holds boundless mysteries, and every individual deserves the promise of their own future. In Carla's eyes, Vance is nothing short of a monstrous being. Ulf delivers a report, stating that he has successfully extracted the core, only to be met with Vance's command to activate the self-destruct sequence within the AI. Carla implores Ulf to return, but he realizes the futility of his efforts. Vance reminds them that the AI will thwart any attempts to detach the lower deck, and he endeavors to persuade Carla to aid him one final time. However, she refuses to assume the role of a deity, for she cannot compromise her principles. In a chilling farewell, Vance strikes her, bidding adieu to his second most prized creation. Carla retaliates by shooting his holographic projection, severing their connection. Meanwhile, Ulf courageously carries the core toward the transport, urgently seeking the code to detach a section of the ship. Yet, he comes to the somber realization that he won't be able to make it back to Carla in time. Carla's disbelief intensifies as chaos unfolds before her eyes. The lower deck shatters in a devastating explosion, shaking her to the core. Against all odds, a section of the ship breaks free, defying the impending disaster. Amidst the turmoil, a faint voice emerges, a survivor who escaped with the detachable part. Driven by determination, Carla insists on joining the perilous task. The man agrees but takes precautions for her safety. He secures her in the closed section of the airlock, urging her to return to Earth and reveal the unvarnished truth about the mysterious sphere. With tears streaming down her face, Carla watches as he steps onto the desolate surface, sealing the outer door behind him. Gripped by sorrow, she witnesses him ascend with the core, rising toward the surface. Her module ascends into the vast sky, while Ulf silently observes her departure. Then, in a cataclysmic display, the sphere detonates, unleashing its destructive power. Determined to reunite, Carla makes a solemn promise to meet him on the other side. She listens attentively to the countdown, knowing the ship will embark on its return journey to Earth in 7 years and 8 months. The movie ends here,